Hey, good day, everybody, and hope you all are having a good and great day so far, whenever you may be watching this. Um, this is my sixth episode review of the MTV show Scream. Only three more to go, and the end of the season well, obviously, it will be here. And tentatively, I'm planning to do a live Google Hangouts episode after the season one finale. Doing a whole season recap, obviously, a regular review of said finale itself, but then obviously a whole generalistic thing. So more than welcome to join me in that. Like I said, it's tentatively now, but you know, I don't want to commit to something and then not happen, and then go back on my word. I'm not that type of person. Not only am I a kind, respectful person, as in respectful of people's opinions that might be different from mine on anything, sports, politics, or this TV show. But also, I want to be true to my word and reliable in that way. So I don't want to, definitely say it's going to be likelihood is high, but for right now, I'm just going to say tentatively I will have that live episode with Google Hangouts, talking everything MTV Scream. Looking forward and seeing what season two will be, you know. And by that time, I think we'll know whether it's going to have a whole new cast or the same cast. Obviously, with how the season finale goes, whether you know if the killer's revealed or not at that time. But we'll be talking about, I will be talking about everything. But you're welcome to join in the live episode, obviously, with Google Hangouts. From what I heard and from other people that do it, that it can have up to 10 people total, so 9 guests plus myself can be seen, obviously with a video or not, within the Hangout. And if you can't get in there, welcome to obviously watching it live, commenting on the video on YouTube, on the live video there, or if you can be part of the chat but not part of the quote unquote group to get in the room, you're welcome to just be part of the Q&A, or leave comments and questions, and I'll go from there. So definitely, I'm looking forward to that. It's likely to happen, but you never know with situations, with family, with work, with everything else, that it just might not happen. So like I said, right now it's going to be tentative, and we'll go from there. So tonight's episode of Scream, episode 6. Obviously, another great episode to me. Again, if you haven't seen any of the episodes, check them out however you can, on demand, Hulu Plus, if you DVR'd any of them. Just check them out, obviously, if you haven't seen them. I'm going to assume if you're watching this that you have seen them all and are enjoying the show, and whatever. If this is your first video you're watching of mine, definitely can check out the rest of my channel, of all my videos. I talk sports, pro wrestling, and whatnot. Soon here, I might actually even be talking a little bit to politics, so we'll see about that. Welcome to follow me on Twitter at army_strong_06. That is where I live tweet every day, so welcome, or not every day, but every week for the MTV show Scream. So you're welcome to join the conversation. My Twitter handle will be in the description below this video. So anyways, to dive actually into the episode after all that promoting and stuff. Yeah, it was a good episode. It's not gonna go without saying that, but definitely interesting with the whole, this, that, planting seeds of each of different characters on who, or more likelihood on who could be the killer. Now, the biggest one I think was Jake, with the whole situation with Will. Now they're against each other, no longer friends, frenemies, or just plain enemies. But the situation there, Will, gives the tape back to the mayor, but then earlier Jake threatens Will because he's worried, because he finds out that Will took it from him in the locker room, and then worried that he's gonna try to blackmail it or use it against Jake. So Jake threatens him that he's gonna hurt him. So with a threat like that, and then what happens in the end of the episode, you kind of put two and two together and think that maybe Jake could be the killer. Now I kind of thought with his personality and nonverbals and everything that he could be. He kind of was a dark horse to me. But I thought if there was a group, like if there was actually more than one killer, he would be, and he was seen like with his personality and everything, would be a mastermind, would be the leader, the ringleader of it. Heck, he was seems like he's the ringleader of the whole blackmailing situation that was going on with him and Will and Nina, or whatever group that was. So he definitely has experience in being a leader of something shady. We also get a little bit more backstory of Daisy and Brandon James in that situation. How she should have fought more for him and with the police and with people. That he is not what he seems, and he was not what he seems. For the situation at the dock, and she confides that in with her daughter Emma, because Emma, wants to fight hard for Audrey and to show that she's not the killer. That she believes this to be true, and her mother's just saying, if you think that, and if you truly believe that, then do everything in your power that you can to prove that. So that certainly was was interesting in itself. Now talking about kindling relationships in the beginning, you have Emma and Kieran, which I kind of want Emma and Will to get back together by the end of the season, in my personal opinion. But whatever, Kieran kind of rubs me the wrong way this whole season. But whatever. So Will deserves to have a love interest, someone to be with, someone, whatever, And it looks like it could be that podcast host. I mean, she seems like someone that Will could get along with. Plus, obviously I don't know. She just seems interesting, different, obviously from Emma. Obviously, just as beautiful as Emma. But besides that, I think Will and her could get along. Now, as of right now, I'm just calling her the podcast host because I forget her name. I apologize. I've been I've been watching the show from the beginning, and I think that character came in a couple episodes ago. And so sometimes I'm just bad with names, so I'll just have to leave it at that for this episode at least. But in the end, you see at the end of the episode, the podcast host and her and Will get attacked by the killer, and so that in itself is interesting. And like I said, that makes Jay suspicious of Jake being of that. I think another big thing in this episode with Audrey and calling Emma, saying she should destroy something, piece of evidence that makes her look highly incriminating. You can definitely tell of how worried Audrey was, and almost scared, almost in likelihood, because she has a feeling that someone's going to get a hold of that isn't of the gang or of the group, I guess, and it will be incriminating and will be used against her. And finding out, as I watched it later, it definitely was of her, being upset and wanting to do something to Nina and everything, and then explaining it to Emma. Like I said, Audrey's not off my radar, but we'll see in the coming episodes what happens with her. I just don't know. I can't take her off the list, but she's certainly there. So with everything going on, with the Mr. Branson. Now here's another theory I thought of. Something that could be outlandish, but who knows? Anything goes, right? Any theory goes, no matter how crazy it is. So here's another one, I guess. What if the sheriff is Brother Troy? And what if Mr. Branson is Brandon James? And they, as a tag team, were the killers. Or if you want to add someone from the quote-unquote kids, or from the quote-unquote, regular cast, main cast, yada yada, you have those two, you have Kieran and Jake. So you have a team of 4, 2 adults and 2 teenagers. Or soon to be young adults, since it seems like Jake and them are going to be going to college soon. But anyways, you know what I mean. If you have a team of 4 like that, especially with Jake and his psychological way of thinking and doing things, master manipulator, kind of like a puppet master sort of thing we've seen in the last few episodes. How he twists things. He put it on Will about, with excuse me, with the mayor's daughter, saying that he was the one with the tape, and he's, in the end it was actually Jake, so he's that kind of personality. Then you got Kieran, who just is all sorts of red flags for me from the very beginning, to be the killer. So put him in the group, and then like I said, with the theory of this new theory of the sheriff being Troy and the teacher being Brandon James himself, didn't die and just became a whole new person, continuing surgeries. So if that's true, we'll see. But like I said, I'm going to be doing something different and new with these episodes of my reviews up into the finale and into season 2. I'm going to have a top 5. And I guess as good a time as any to give out my top 5. Coming in at number 5 will be Audrey. Like I said, she's not off my radar. She kind of slipped in my thinking, but not off my radar. So she will be 5th. 4th will be the teacher, Mr. Branson. Like I said, it could be like a group thing or him by himself. He just looks too dang suspicious. Now climbing steadily up my radar. And number 3 is Jake. It could be a smoking screen. It could be a red herring. But for right now, for me, I'm taking it literally and I'm taking it seriously. And I think that Jake highly incriminated himself tonight with his actions and with obviously what happened at the end of the episode. Number 2 will be the sheriff. He's always been by out of the box thinking of who could it be, and he's highly suspicious. He always gets, always has to know things. He's always there, and with most TV shows or movies or whatever with the killers, and maybe even in, situations. Sometimes the killer wants to not only manipulate how things go, obviously, but also want to just be part of it. Meaning, like they'll call in to the sheriff or whatever if the killer's not the sheriff speaking, and say and speak and be like, what's going on, what's an update, what's this, what's that. But him being the sheriff, and that's his job, almost makes it easier for him to be the killer and then kind of manipulate things or find out things if people are snooping around, like in the previous episode with Audrey, Emma, Noah sneaking around the hospital. So he definitely is my number 2. And number 1, it's still my number 1 for now. It could be just me being stubborn and keeping him number 1. But for number 1 right now, for me, is Kieran. It's going to take a lot for me to change and not go with Kieran as my prediction for the killer. I think from the get-go, as I've said, he's been my number 1 suspect. Just like, others, like I know one other YouTuber has someone that's their number 1 suspect from the beginning, and they're not wavering either. Obviously, it's someone else, but at least for now, maybe we'll see what happens here in episode 7 and 8 and 9, 10, and maybe I'll change, and maybe obviously the list can change. But for now, that is my top 5. So I thank everybody that has watched, and definitely